bottom of the ocean or being up in space?
Up in space is more surreal. Yeah, because the floating, the earth out the window, the views are better. But being down there was pretty wild, too. I remember once we were doing this experiment where I had my crewmate and I had an ultrasound, and we're doing this telemedicine experiment. So there were these docs in Houston looking at the screen, but there's a delay. And I'm supposed to find her kidney, and I'm like searching around for a kidney. And then I look up and I look out the window and I see a 6-foot hammerhead shark right out the window. And we have a guy in the water. And I dropped a giant F-bomb, like, fuck, you know. And all the docs in Houston are freaking out. They're thinking, like, in a moment they're going to see her liver explode on the screen or something. And they're like, what's that? How's the patient? How's the patient? I'm like, patient's fine. Got a 6-foot hammerhead out the window.
Yeah, that's got to be really weird, right? You're in that thing, in their world. For how long? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So is that the weirdest animal that you saw, is the hammerhead?
The scariest thing I saw was one night I was taking a dump. This is a true story. The way you do this, okay, number one, you just pee in the pool, okay? But if you have to go number two, you go into the pool, because you don't want a floater in your pool, right? That's,
of course,
like Caddyshack. You don't want that.
Right.
So what you do is you don't take a tank. You just take your mask and your fins. And you go down.
Naked?
You can. We had a mixed gender crew, so I wore some trunks, but you know. And then you just go down, and you have to swim. I don't know. It's like maybe 10, 15 feet. It's not that far. And there's what we call the gazebo, which is just a little dome that has air inside. Now you're out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Like, with no tank, and you're 60 feet down, it's night. You can't see a thing. You're alone in the ocean. But you can see this little gazebo. You swim to that, you pop in, and then you got air, just some valves, you let in some fresh air, and then you hold on, and you take off your trunks, and you just let it rip. But the problem is, the fish get accustomed to this.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So they go there knowing that you're going to poop.
As soon as you drop in the water at night, it's like the dinner bell going off. And there's like school. Yeah, because this is feeding time.
Whoa. And so you feel them, like,
yeah,
pecking at the back door?
The worst are the angelfish, because that shape, they can get like right up in there.
Oh,
it's like not cool.
Boy.
So you take your fin off and you're like whacking them.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So that's all bad enough, but as you're doing that, and you're in the pitch black Atlantic Ocean, 60 feet down, no scuba tank.
At night.
With the sound of the ocean like lapping against the dome. And you're looking down, and there's endless black, just a black void. And you're thinking about every single scary ocean movie, like Jaws, The Meg, whatever, The Abyss, all those scary movies, right? And you think about all this things that could be down there. You can't help but going through your head, so it's kind of freaky. And then you finish, and you put your mask back on. And I took a big breath, and I went down, and I opened my eyes in my mask in the darkness with my flashlight, and I saw, like, right in front of me, this huge eyeball, like about the size, I don't know, of a saucer, like this big, staring, unblinking right at me. And I freaked out. I just tore off for the pool, for the moon pool and the habitat. I jumped in there. I surfaced. I'm screaming. And my crew come running thinking I've been bit by a shark or something. And I'm like, giant fish. And
What was it?
It was a Goliath grouper.
Oh, I've seen those things before. They're enormous.
Size of a cow. It's like...
Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of pounds, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Scared the living hell out of me.
Yeah, those things could literally eat a person.
Yeah. It was big enough, that's for sure. And so just the sight of it scared the heck out of me.
So where were you? Were in the Atlantic?
Yeah.
How far away were you from, like, Florida? Like, where were you at?
We were just off the coast of Key Largo.
Okay, because that's what I was saying. Like, they live down there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an enormous fish, man.
Huge.
I've seen videos of people catching them off of boats, and it seems surreal. Look at that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's one.
It's like a giant largemouth bass. That's what it's like. Like if you go bass fishing, they're so similar to bass, like in the way they look.
Yeah. Now imagine like
Jesus Christ, look at that thing.
yeah, imagine like being eye to eye with that thing in the middle of the dark Atlantic with no scuba tank.
They're delicious too, I bet. Like I don't know if they taste as good as regular grouper.
I wasn't gonna. So you get a different. Yeah, I wasn't gonna find out.
Look at the mouth on that thing. Good Lord.
I'll tell you another quick story about down there. So I went out for a night dive once, and I spent the beautiful thing about saturation diving like this is you can do basically infinite time, bottom time. You're not limited to like 60 minutes. You can stay out there for 6 hours, whatever. So I was not doing this night dive, and I found this beautiful shrimp, and it was just spectacularly gorgeous. It was like translucent. You could see through it. You could see its organs move, like internal organs, like doing their thing. And I stared at it for at least like an hour, just held my light on it and just sat there and stared at it. And it was really beautiful. And I come back inside the habitat, and I'm kind of hungry. And the best space food we got is shrimp cocktail. And I pulled that thing off the shelf, and I'm like, oh, that looks good. Then I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it, man.
You felt bad because you just saw the shrimp? Wow.
I ate it the next day.
The next day.
Yeah.
But that for that day, though, you really felt bad.
I felt bad.
Wow. Grouper, you would have felt bad? Like a nice grouper sandwich? You
It
ever have a
scared
nice
me. So
grouper
I think
sandwich in Florida?
I would have been okay with that after. Because it was.
Yeah, I wonder if they've ever eaten people. Because it seems like they could, they swallow giant fish. It seems like if you're not a large person, they might be able to just suck you right in there. You know?
See, now, if this happens to me again, I'm going to be even more freaked out.
I feel like I've read that grouper have bitten people before.
Yeah.
Like probably trying them out. Like if they get hungry, if you're that big, you probably have to eat so much.
Yeah, just nonstop, buffet for those guys. And, yeah.
So when you're down there and you're doing all the swimming, you're using a rebreather?
No,
You're using tanks, regular
tanks.
scuba tanks? And what is the capacity of these tanks? Like how long can you stay down just swimming around for?
We have two, and we can isolate them in case one of them springs a leak. But you don't have that much more time than a standard scuba tank. But we have is refill stations all around the floor with high pressure hoses. So we have these quick disconnects on our system that you can plug in and fill it right back up, and then you're good to go for another couple hours.
So when you swim to go take a poo, you have to do that? You have to wear the tank, or do you just hold your breath?
Just hold your breath. You're not going that far.
How far are you going?
Like 15 feet or so.
In total pitch black.
Yeah. There is a light on the gazebo, but that's all.
So you see that light out there, and you know if you get